In a world where money buys power and power buys survival, Gaoi clawed his way from the gutters to the global elite, only to be ripped from his empire and summoned as the so-called hero of justice. Now, naked, furious, and down $43.7 billion, he's trapped in a medieval hellscape. Now let's explore how he rebuilt his empire in this new world, where power reigns supreme. Priestess Emma staggered forward, sweat trickling down her temples. After traveling for 7 years. Her voice quivered, not from exhaustion, but awe. I've arrived, at the hero's summoning grounds. The massive bag on her back hit the dirt with a thud. She tore it open, fingers scrambling past vials and talismans. A golden sheet flashed in her grasp. The fragment of the Angel of Love's golden bugle. Her eyes blazed with triumph. A year spent tracking thieves through the black bazaar. Next, a jagged crystal, its core pulsing with trapped sorrow. The dying dragon's ossified tear. 2 years bribing dragon cultists. Then, the crown jewel. She cradled a skull, its hollow sockets radiating eerie serenity. And this, the intact skull of the selfless sacrifice. 3 whole years. Her hands moved feverishly, arranging the relics around a pool of rainwater. She clasped her hands in prayer, so deeply focused that the pressure seemed to affect her posture. Almighty hero of justice. Her whisper cracked. Deliver this world. G Group headquarters in Earth. A woman in a slit dress sidled up, her perfume cloying. We've absorbed Raytheon, Bayer, and the Northwest Sichuan network, she purred. Your net worth? Second globally. Only Musk beats you. He didn't smile. Seizing companies isn't enough. They must become part of G Group. Her nails grazed his sleeve. You've worked 4 months without rest. Let me help you unwind tonight. Gao Yi's gaze sharpened. Is the life deck acquisition done? She flinched. And not yet. 3 million a year to flirt. His voice could freeze lava. Finish those documents. As she slunk away, he turned back to the window. In this world, money is power. And golden light swallowed him whole. Naked and enraged. One moment, Gao Yi was in his penthouse. The next, cold cobblestones bit into his bare feet. Screams erupted. Women shielded their eyes, or their children's. Men stared. Yeeks. A girl in priestess robes trembled before him, tears gleaming. Lord Hero, I've summoned you. He didn't ask questions. He grabbed her, pulling her along as he moved, still unclothed, and slammed her against a wall, and snarled, Where the hell am I? Emma squeezed her eyes shut, thrusting a robe at him. See clothes first. No. His voice dripped venom. I lose 300k a second. Talk. Fast. She gulped. The apocalypse lords awaken soon. Only the 5 heroes of virtue can stop them. You're the hero of justice. We must. Pass. He yanked on the shirt. Send me back. Now. Her smile wobbled. It's a one-way summoning. Gao Yi's soul left his body. My 43.7 billion. He lunged for the nearest tower, howling, World, it was nice knowing you. Emma lunged forward, wrapping her arms around Gao Yi's waist. You can't jump, Lord Hero. A thunderous growl erupted from his stomach. With a beatific smile, Emma rummaged through the small pouch at her hip. She pulled out something vaguely potato-shaped, brown, lumpen, and petrified with age. Never abandon hope, Lord Hero, she declared, thrusting it toward him with stars in her eyes. The phrase struck Gao Yi like a physical blow. Memories flashed, a younger girl with the same determined grin, saying those exact words, Never abandon hope no matter what happens, big bro. As a self-made man, he muttered, it's been too long since I faced a real setback. He snatched the dubious offering. Time is money. I'll eat while you explain this world and these heroes. Crunch. Wah. My tooth. His scream echoed. The so-called bread had left dental impressions in its unyielding surface. Did you give me a stone? Emma licked her own rock-hard bun demonstratively. Nah. A chaff bun just gets this hard. Though, This one might have been stored too long. You have to soften it with saliva first. Gao said. It's just more inedible now. Was that really all the food you had? Emma's face fell. It was my last chaff bun. I saved it specially for the hero of justice. I haven't eaten for 5 days. Gao Yi's eye twitched. You starved yourself, for spoiled bread? Wait 5 days. Yeah. She beamed, as if admitting to a virtue rather than malnutrition. You're too poor for actual meals? You bet. She puffed her chest with pride. Gao Yi massaged his temples. Shouldn't your church fund you? You're their damned priestess. Emma blinked, genuinely perplexed. Why would they pay me? You literally summoned me for them. Our Destiny Church has no doctrine but saving the world. She clasped her hands, radiant with zeal. This isn't work, it's a sacred mission. Gao Yi slammed both palms against the wall, caging her between his arms. His voice dropped to a growl. So let me get this straight. You dragged me here to save your world, for free. Emma nodded cheerfully. What a cheap, miserable deal. He reeled back, mind racing. If I don't help and the world ends, I'm stuck here anyway. Emma chirped, digging through her bag again. I prepared your signature weapon. With a flourish, she unveiled a sword, its obsidian blade veined with molten gold runes, like a dragon soaring through storm clouds. Gao Yi's skepticism evaporated. His fingers trembled as he grasped the hilt. The craftsmanship screamed luxury, every curve balanced for lethality, every glyph whispering of ancient power. The imperial sword of justice. Emma bounced on her toes. According to the Justice Bible, you'll unlock its true power after selflessly helping 100 people. Greed ignited in Gao Yi's eyes. Since I'm the hero of justice, this belongs to me now, right? Obviously. Emma giggled. How expected of a man to drool over weapon rage. But Gao Yi wasn't listening. He tilted the blade, watching moonlight slither along its edge. Magnificent, he breathed. Instead of charging into heroic battles, Gao Yi found himself in a dimly lit pawnshop. The imperial sword of justice slammed onto the counter with a metallic clang. Boss, help me assess this sword's commercial value. Emma's jaw dropped. Just what are you doing? She grabbed Gao Yi's arm. Gao Yi didn't even flinch. You said it belongs to me. That means I decide how it's used. And right now, hard cash is more valuable than some fancy wall hanger. Tears welled in Emma's eyes. But this is a legendary grade weapon. It has millennia of history. Gao Yi's eyebrows shot up. Legendary grade, you say? Emma mistook his surprise for reverence. You bet. Now you understand it's. Boss. Gao Yi turned back to the shopkeeper, grinning like a shark. You heard her. Legendary grade. Millennia of history. Appraise it well. The old man's eyes gleamed as he examined the blade. The craftsmanship is exquisite. Worth at least 500 gold crocks. But these rubes don't know that. He coughed into his sleeve. Well, lad. The texture's rough, the gold's just foil. I'll burden myself and offer 200 gold crocks. Gao Yi grabbed Emma's wrist. Let's leave. Emma brightened. Lord Hero, you've come to your senses. No, Gao Yi said flatly. I just met a dishonest businessman. The shopkeeper's composure cracked. Don't run, lad. We can negotiate. Gao Yi smirked inwardly. Rejecting the first offer outright, the oldest trick in the book. Minutes later, they sat in plush chairs, steaming tea and delicate pastries before them. Emma stared at the cookies, drool pooling in her mouth. Can we eat these? Of course. The shopkeeper beamed before turning to Gao Yi. Now, sir, what should I call? I don't waste time with amateurs, Gao Yi interrupted. Fetch your manager. The old man paled. But the manager? Never mind. One moment. As he scurried off, Gao Yi glanced at Emma, still staring at the cookies. Why aren't you eating? You're starving. Emma shoved the cookies toward him. You have them, Lord Hero. Emma clutching her rock-hard chaff bun despite the feast before her. Gao Yi sighed. Let me guess. You think eating these would mean profiting from selling the sword. And as the hero's priestess, that'd make you guilty. Tears spilled down Emma's cheeks as she nibbled her bun. Why sell the imperial sword? It's yours. Gao Yi knelt before her. Emma, he said, voice dripping with sincerity, a hero must be practical. We need funds to actually save this world. His grip tightened. I swear on my honor, I'll make this up to you. But I can't do it alone. He met her eyes, the very picture of devotion. Will you stand with me? He reached out, his hand steady but eyes burning with compassion. Emma's breath caught in her throat. For a split second, time froze, then she grasped his hand. You bet, she said in voice low. Gao Yi's expression darkened behind her back. Score. As she finally devour a cookie. But in the next breath, he turned back to Emma. Listen to me, Emma, he said, when the manager arrives, we have to cooperate. Emma barely glanced up, still munching. The door creaked open. Gao Yi sipped his tea, smirking behind the cup. Perfect. An older manager means easier negotiations. A pair of fluffy bunny ears poked through the doorway first. Then emerged their owner, a flustered demi-human girl with cheeks pinker than cherry blossoms. Did you really need me here for the bargain? Golly. She fidgeted with her apron strings. If my presence matters that much to you, I guess I should be all ears. Splurt. Tea sprayed from Gao Yi's mouth. He whirled toward Emma. You're sure this is your manager and not a customer service bunny girl? But Emma was already airborne. How adorable. Pounce. Both hands clamped around the bunny girl's ears. The manager trembled like a leaf in a hurricane. Hands off my ears, golly. Gao Yi intervened, hauling Emma back by her collar like a misbehaving kitten. You can't just pounce on someone's ears. How very rude. Right, I'm sorry. Emma dangled mid-air, sheepish. I just couldn't help myself. The bunny girl exhaled in relief. Thank gods, at least this man's normal. Gao Yi straightened his cuffs with exaggerated grace. Take after me and ask with courtesy. He flashed a smile worthy of a romance novel cover. Sorry, Miss Gorgeous, but might I have a turn with those exquisite ears? Bunny's pupils shrank to pinpricks. Golly, he's even more lecherous. Once they were seated, Gao Yi's whole attitude changed, like flipping a switch. Sorry about the theatrics, he said with a grin. Just trying to lighten the mood. Then, with an overly serious tone that was clearly put on, he said, I am Gordon G. Paywood, a nobleman from faraway lands. The tale unfolded. His father, a gluttonous, merciless feudal lord, ruled with a fist of iron and a heart of wrought. He drained his peasants dry, feasted on their labor, and died choking on his own excess, leaving his son to inherit both his wealth and his sins. For a time, the son followed the same path, drowning in wine and indulgence. Then came Emma, the priestess, a woman whose quiet strength cut through the darkness. Wealth is a chain, she told him, and you are drowning in gold. Her words struck like lightning. 5 years of repentance followed. He sold his jewels, opened his granaries, and knelt in prayer until his knees ached. Where his father had taken, he gave. Where his father had sneered, he served. Now, standing before her, his voice was raw with gratitude. It was she who taught me compassion, he said, hand trembling. She who helped me find my conscience. The ghosts of his past lingered, but for the first time, he faced them with clean hands. Tears welled in the bunny manager's eyes. And Mr. Gordon, you're incredible. Golly. She sniffled. I'm Dorkaka, manager here. Gao Yi presented the sword. Then appraised this heirloom flawlessly, Miss Dorkaka. Sniff. Chomp. Her ears twitched as she tested the blade's quality. Finally, she gasped, 5,000 crocs. Golly, we'll offer 5,000. Emma nodded sagely. Expected for the hero's sword. Gao Yi's mind raced. A single croc buys 20 kilograms of rice. This could end food insecurity forever. The old shopkeeper hissed, Manager, our vault only has 5,300 total. Dorkaka patted his arm. Just trust me, Uncle Hans. But if we empty the coffers, The big guy will. Gao Yi launched into his performance. Here I was thinking Miss Dorkaka would recognize the value of my compassionate heart and issue a fair, objective price. He shook his head mournfully. But it seems I was mistaken. The old shopkeeper nearly leaped across the counter. You're really overdoing it, Mr. Gordon. There's no way our manager, a dassy demi-human with expert metallurgic senses, would misidentify a simple sword's value. This is no mere frozen hunk of metal. The Imperial Sword of Justice is a legendary-grade weapon containing immense power. He paused for effect. If the base materials alone are worth 5,000 crocs, then the divine energy it stores must be valued at. His eyes locked onto Dorkaka's. 20,000 crocs. Emma's gasp echoed through the shop. Even she hadn't expected such an astronomical sum. The old man completely lost his composure. Have you gone mad? Those are exorbitant demands. Manager, I'll drive this swindler out of. But before he could finish, Dorkaka slammed a freshly inked contract onto the counter with surprising force. Golly. Here's the transaction document for the 20,000 croc withdrawal. Her bunny ears stood straight up in determination. Just trust Dorkaka to deliver that cash within 10 days. The parchment gleamed with fresh ink, clearly displaying. Withdrawal sum, 20,000 crocs. Beneficiary, Gordon G. Paywood. Gao Yi's mind raced as he weighed the pawnshop's offer. I underestimated this sword's value, but pushing for more risks angering whatever shadowy figures backed this operation. With no competing pawnshops nearby, I'd better secure this deal now. He rose dramatically, clasping Dorkaka's hands. Your generosity will save this town's impoverished masses. The clink of gold coins still echoed through the shop as Gao Yi's hand shot out like a striking viper. Before Dorkaka could complete her count, he snatched both the bulging money bag and Emma's slender wrist in one fluid motion. Your generosity moves me, Gao Yi declared, already backing toward the door while flashing his most disarming smile. But the starving masses can't wait for proper accounting. The Jade Palace. Emma gaped at the marble-columned mansion, her fingers tightening on Gao Yi's sleeve. Lord Hero, are we really staying here? This looks expensive. Gao Yi strode forward. What poor customer service for such a prestigious inn. A woman with blood-red lips exhaled smoke, eyeing them with disdain. The Jade Palace doesn't accommodate commoners. Remove them. 2 hulking guards advanced, each twice Gao Yi's width. I came for civil discourse, Gao Yi sighed, but since you insist. He snapped his fingers. Whoosh. A team of tailors flooded in, unfolding privacy screens with military precision. 2 makeshift dressing rooms materialized in seconds. From one, Emma's shriek pierced the air. Lord Hero, why are they undressing me? Relax, Gao Yi called from behind his own screen, the sound of rustling fabric accompanying his words. World saving requires proper attire. The proprietress and her muscle-bound guards stood frozen, watching the spectacle unfold. What manner of maneuver is this? She whispered. 1 hour later. The screens fell away to reveal a transformed pair. The madam's cigarette tumbled from her lips. Jinhuaxuan tailors? Their mobile service costs 1,000 crocs per fitting. Her eyes darted between their embroidered silks. Only the Count's inner circle can afford. Gao Yi adjusted his sapphire-stitched cravat, tossing a pouch to the head tailor. Adequate work. 2,500 crocs, plus a 3-croc tip for your discretion. The tailor bowed deeply. Serving Baron Gordon is our privilege. As his team withdrew, he added, should the stitching displease you, we'll remake everything within the hour. Gao Yi waved him off. Another time. I'm fatigued from travel. The atmosphere shifted instantly. The madam lunged forward, her considerable assets pressing against Gao Yi's arm as she groveled. My deepest apologies, Baron. This lowly one failed to recognize. He extracted himself with practiced ease, business before pleasure. Just arrange suitable accommodations. At once. She scurried off, hips swaying exaggeratedly. Gao Yi turned to Emma, only to find her catatonic, lips moving soundlessly. 2 outfits. 2,500 crocs. That's 50,000 kilos of rice. Hey! Snap out of it. We're just getting started. The door to their luxury suite swung open, revealing a room fit for royalty. Emma's eyes widened as she tentatively pressed a finger into the plush bedding. It's super soft, like cotton, she gasped, before launching herself onto the mattress. No, like soaring on cloud 9. Gaoi sat beside her, unimpressed. Baloney. It's harder than my world's spring mattresses. He eyed her incredulously. Just where have you been sleeping all this time? Emma rolled onto her back, her smile never fading. Luckier folks can trespass into pig pens, cowsheds, or even henhouses. The less fortunate sleep by the roadside. She folded her hands behind her head. But that's not so bad, you get to gaze at the stars. Her words struck a chord. Looking back. Snow fell in thick sheets, rattling the flimsy wooden shed where two children huddled together. A younger Gaoi, skinny, shivering, peeled off his threadbare coat and draped it over his sister's shoulders. Shao, she doesn't need your clothes, big bro, she protested, though her lips were blue. She's not that cold. Little Gao clenched his fists, his breath fogging the air. Just you wait. I'll earn enough to put you in a mansion someday. His sister threw her arms around him, giggling. Yeah. It'll be so big, maybe brother and I can sleep in one bed. Now. Emma beamed at him. You may not be the hero of justice I expected, but Emma considers you a righteous man nonetheless. Righteousness? What a bunch of baloney. Gaoi flicked a gold coin between his fingers, watching it catch the light. Whether you're saving the world or protecting those you love. His grip tightened. It all rests on a single thing. Gold. Dinner time has come. The lavish dinner table groaned under the weight of roasted meats, glazed vegetables, and steaming bread. Emma's stomach growled as she stared wide-eyed at the feast before her. Lord Hero, all this spending, isn't it wasting the pawn money? She asked, saliva pooling in her mouth. Gaoi smirked, swirling his wine. You'll dehydrate from all that drooling. Relax, it's all part of the plan. Every coin spent is for the world's salvation. His mind, however, raced with calculations. That big guy, everyone keeps mentioning, must be the local lord. Untouchable to commoners, but not to a fellow noble. If I can lure him out with a spectacle, he'll be my ticket into high society and new business ventures. He took a sip, the rich wine bitter on his tongue. But in this backwater, flashing wealth carelessly would be suicide. First, I need to understand this town's economy. Rest early, Emma, he said, setting down his glass. Tomorrow we tour the town and pump more money into circulation. Emma clutched her swollen belly. I've eaten to my fill. The Crocodile King. Elsewhere. A palace loomed over black waters, its spires piercing the moonlit sky. Inside, a man groveled at the feet of his master. Count Moto, the Crocodile Bay King, stroked the squirrel draped around his neck as he skewered a slice of meat. You must be starving after kneeling so long, he purred, offering the morsel. Try it. The trembling mayor shook his head. Sir Count, I only collected 800 gold crocs last month. The people have nothing left to give. The Count's smile didn't reach his eyes. Are you really going to disappoint me? The mayor's hands shook as he grabbed the meat. I'll eat it. Good. The Count gestured to a chair. Sit. This is first-rate Moon Lake beef, aged 30 months. Do you like it? Delicious, the mayor stammered. A snap of the Count's fingers, and 4 bruised women entered, bearing platters heaped with meat. The mayor paled. Sir Count, I can't possibly. You promised me 2,000 crocs monthly, the Count murmured, forcing him into the chair. And I hate broken promises. Clank. Manacles locked around the mayor's ankles. The table lurched, revealing a pit of thrashing crocodiles below. Finish it all in 15 minutes, the Count whispered, or you'll be dessert. The mayor screamed. Thornmail pond crocodiles. As the man frantically devoured the meat, the Count turned to a cowering Dorkaka. One mayor fails to collect taxes, while my little bunny spends 25,000 crocs in a day. Dorkaka's ears flattened. A dark stain spread across her skirt. This sword, its power is beyond gold, she squeaked. The Count examined the blade, his squirrel chittering. A black woman materialized from the shadows, Sleek, silent, lethal. Before Bunny could react, Count Moto flicked his fingers in command. Phantom. Go recon on this Gordon. Her eyes gleamed, a predator locking onto prey. Then she was gone, dissolving into the dark like smoke. Count Moto clutched Bunny's ear, wrenching her face up as he hissed. Now let me tell you something, my naive little bunny wabbit. His eyes narrowed, gleaming with cold amusement. What's called nobility is nothing more than beasts draped in elegance. So tell me, how can such creatures possess goodwill? They're just as bloodthirsty as the rest. Meanwhile, back in town, Gowie flashed a grin at Emma. Listen closely, dear girl. His voice dropped to a velvet murmur. And take your clothes off. Emma struck a defiant pose, hips cocked, arms crossed beneath her chest, that somehow made her refusal even more enticing. No. Tisk. Gowie clicked his tongue. Weren't you just preaching about the priestess's duty to satisfy her hero's usual needs? His thumb traced circles along her inner thigh. I'll polish your sword. Cook your meals. Even wash your feet. Her face burned scarlet as his fingers crept higher. But this. No. Emma shouted, but it was too late. Rip. Gowie pulled hard, tearing her stocking. Stay tuned. Things are only getting more interesting with each chapter. Don't forget to like and subscribe.